Welcome back to Daily English Talk. Today, we're diving into the incredible life story of Bill Gates, the visionary who changed the world of technology forever. From a curious kid fascinated by computers to the co-founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates revolutionized how we use personal computers and software. But his impact doesn't stop there. Beyond tech, he's become one of the world's most influential philanthropists, dedicating his wealth to improving global health, education, and fighting poverty. Join us as we explore the journey of this remarkable entrepreneur, innovator, and humanitarian, Bill Gates. William Henry Gates III, widely known as Bill Gates, was born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington. He grew up in an upper-middle-class family that valued education, hard work, and community service. This chapter explores the early life and family background of one of the most influential figures in the history of technology, laying the foundation for the person he would become. Bill Gates was born into a well-educated and supportive family. His father, William H. Gates Sr., was a prominent lawyer and philanthropist. Known for his dedication to justice and public service, Gates Sr. worked as a successful attorney and served on several nonprofit boards throughout his life. His strong ethical values and work ethic greatly influenced young Bill's upbringing. Bill's mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, was equally accomplished. She was a school teacher early in her career and later became a businesswoman and community leader. Mary held leadership positions on the boards of various organizations, including the United Way and the First Interstate Bank. She was one of the first women to serve on the board of directors at the University of Washington. Her involvement in civic affairs and commitment to education inspired Bill's sense of responsibility to society. The Gates family's background in education, leadership, and philanthropy provided a nurturing environment where intellectual curiosity and community involvement were highly encouraged. Bill grew up in the spacious, comfortable neighborhood of Medina, a suburb of Seattle. The family home was large and surrounded by nature, providing a peaceful setting for Bill's childhood. He was the middle child among three siblings, with an older sister, Christy, and a younger sister, Libby. From a young age, Bill was known for his intelligence and inquisitive nature. He was curious about the world around him and had a strong desire to learn. His parents encouraged his interests and provided him with educational opportunities. Despite being surrounded by a supportive family, Bill was competitive and driven, traits that would later define his approach to business and innovation. Bill's formal education began at the Lakeside School, a private preparatory school in Seattle, known for its rigorous academic programs. Lakeside played a crucial role in shaping Bill's early development. It was here that he was first introduced to computers, a relatively new and expensive technology at the time. In the late 1960s, Lakeside School purchased a computer terminal and allowed students to use it. Bill quickly became fascinated with programming and spent many hours learning to write code. This early access to computers was a rare opportunity and helped ignite his passion for software development. Bill's interest in computers grew rapidly, and he often stayed late at school to practice programming. He developed software for the school and local businesses, demonstrating an early entrepreneurial spirit. His ability to solve problems and write efficient code set him apart from his peers. The values instilled by Bill's parents greatly influenced his ambitions. From his father, he learned the importance of hard work, integrity, and persistence. William H. Gates, Sr. often emphasized the need to be ethical in both personal and professional life. This guidance helped Bill navigate the complex challenges of building a company and managing relationships. From his mother, Bill inherited a strong sense of social responsibility. Mary Maxwell Gates believed that success was not just about personal gain, but also about giving back to the community. Her example of leadership and service shaped Bill's later philanthropic efforts. The Gates family also fostered an environment where education was paramount. Bill's parents stressed the importance of reading and learning beyond the classroom. This emphasis on knowledge contributed to Bill's habit of reading extensively on a wide range of subjects throughout his life. Even as a child, Bill showed signs of leadership and competitiveness. He was known to be a straight-A student, excelling in math and science. However, he also enjoyed playing games that challenged his strategic thinking, such as chess. Bill's competitive nature pushed him to succeed academically and socially. He enjoyed debating and was often involved in discussions that required critical thinking. These early experiences helped him develop communication skills and confidence. Moreover, Bill's ability to focus intensely on his interests was apparent from an early age. When he became interested in computers, he devoted hours to learning and experimenting, sometimes at the expense of other activities. This focus and dedication would later prove essential for his success in the fast-paced technology industry. Despite the advantages of his upbringing, Bill faced challenges as well. Being exceptionally gifted sometimes made it difficult for him to connect with peers. His intense focus on computers could isolate him socially. However, these challenges helped him develop resilience and adaptability. His parents supported him through these struggles, encouraging him to balance work and play, and to cultivate friendships. The combination of family support and personal determination allowed Bill to grow into a well-rounded individual. Bill Gates's early life and family background laid the groundwork for his future achievements. Surrounded by strong role models and given access to new technology, he developed the skills and mindset necessary to become a pioneering entrepreneur. His passion for computers, nurtured by his education and family support, sparked a vision of how technology could transform the world. Little did the world know that this curious boy from Seattle would grow up to revolutionize personal computing and philanthropy on a global scale. Bill Gates's childhood was a time of curiosity, learning, and early exploration into the world of computers. This chapter dives into his formative years, how he discovered his passion for technology, the first experiences that shaped his programming skills, and how his youthful enthusiasm laid the foundation for his future success as a technology pioneer. From a very young age, Bill Gates exhibited a natural curiosity and a love for learning. He was an exceptionally bright child who absorbed information quickly and had an insatiable desire to understand how things worked. This trait was supported by his family's encouragement and the intellectually stimulating environment he grew up in. Bill was especially fascinated by logic and problem-solving. He enjoyed puzzles and games that challenged his mind, such as chess, which helped sharpen his strategic thinking. These early interests were a sign of his analytical mind, a critical asset for his later work in software development. One of the most pivotal moments in Bill's childhood was his enrollment at Lakeside School, a prestigious private school in Seattle. Lakeside was not only academically rigorous, but also offered unique opportunities that most schools of the time did not. In the late 1960s, Lakeside acquired a computer terminal connected to a mainframe. At a time when computers were rare, expensive, and primarily found in large corporations or universities, this access was extraordinary. The school encouraged students to learn programming, and Bill immediately took to it. Bill and a small group of fellow students, many of whom would later become notable technology innovators, began experimenting with the terminal. They taught themselves programming languages such as BASIC, spending countless hours writing code and creating software programs. This early exposure was invaluable. It gave Bill practical experience long before personal computers became widespread, allowing him to develop skills that most people would only acquire years later. Bill's programming skills quickly outpaced those of many adults at the time. He began writing software programs that could perform useful tasks, such as scheduling school activities. His talent for coding was matched by an entrepreneurial spirit even in his teenage years. In one notable incident, Bill and his friends created a payroll program for their school. This program automated the school's billing system, making it more efficient. The school was impressed, and this experience gave Bill his first taste of how software could solve real-world problems. At the age of 13, Bill met Paul Allen, another Lakeside student who shared his passion for computers. The two quickly became friends and collaborators. Their combined enthusiasm and complementary skills would eventually lead to the founding of Microsoft. Bill and Paul's early ventures included working with the Computer Center Corporation to create a program that tracked traffic patterns in Seattle. They also wrote a program for the General Electric GE company. These early projects demonstrated their ability to create practical applications and showed their potential as young entrepreneurs. Bill's parents continued to support his interests. Recognizing his passion for computers, they arranged for him to spend time at the Computer Center Corporation, where he had access to advanced machines. This support was crucial because computer time was expensive and limited during this period. Mary and William Gates also provided an environment that encouraged experimentation and risk-taking. Unlike many parents who might have discouraged an obsession with computers, they saw the value in Bill's pursuits and fostered his growth. Their support helped Bill develop confidence and independence, enabling him to push boundaries and explore new ideas without fear of failure. Despite his strong interest in computers, Bill maintained good academic performance. He was a disciplined student, excelling particularly in mathematics and science, subjects that complemented his programming skills. Balancing schoolwork and programming was not always easy. Bill sometimes stayed up late working on projects, driven by his enthusiasm. His dedication was remarkable, and his ability to manage both academics and programming set him apart from his peers. While Bill's intense focus on computers sometimes isolated him socially, he was known to have a good sense of humor and an engaging personality. He was competitive but also collaborative, enjoying working with friends like Paul Allen. His experiences at Lakeside also helped him develop leadership skills. As he and his peers experimented with programming, Bill often took the role of project leader, coordinating efforts and encouraging others. During his childhood, Bill Gates began to develop a vision of how computers could change the world. At a time when computers were seen as large, complicated machines used only by experts, Bill imagined a future where personal computers could be accessible to everyone. This vision was fueled by his first-hand experience with programming and software development, as well as by his natural optimism and ambition. He saw the potential for software to become a vital tool for individuals and businesses alike. Despite his talents, Bill faced challenges typical of a young prodigy. The pressure to succeed academically and socially, combined with the difficulty of mastering complex programming, required perseverance. Bill's determination helped him overcome obstacles. He was not afraid to make mistakes and learn from them, a mindset that would be crucial throughout his career. Bill Gates's journey from a passionate young programmer to a visionary entrepreneur began with the founding of Microsoft, a company that would change the landscape of personal computing forever. This chapter explores how Bill Gates and Paul Allen turned their early programming experience into a successful business, the challenges they faced, and the milestones they achieved during Microsoft's formative years. Bill Gates and Paul Allen first connected as classmates at Lakeside School, bonding over a shared fascination with computers. Their complementary skills and mutual ambition set the foundation for a lifelong partnership. After high school, Paul Allen attended Washington State University, while Bill Gates enrolled at Harvard University. Despite attending different schools, they kept in touch and continued to collaborate on programming projects. Their shared vision of making computers accessible to everyone fueled their partnership. In 1975, the personal computing revolution was just beginning. The release of the Altair 8800 microcomputer by Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems (MITS) sparked excitement among hobbyists and programmers. Recognizing the opportunity, Gates and Allen saw a chance to create software for this new platform. The two contacted MITS, offering to develop a version of the basic programming language for the Altair. Although they had not yet written the software, they promised to deliver it. This bold move demonstrated their confidence and willingness to take risks. True to their word, Gates and Allen developed the basic interpreter quickly and demonstrated it to MITS. Impressed, MITS agreed to distribute the software, marking the beginning of their commercial success. In November 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen officially founded Microsoft, a combination of microcomputer and software, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The company's goal was to develop and sell software for personal computers. The first few years were challenging. Gates and Allen had to balance building software, managing the fledgling company, and maintaining their personal commitments. Gates at Harvard and Allen at Washington State. The company initially operated out of a small office with limited resources. Gates famously took leaves from Harvard to focus on Microsoft full-time, showing his commitment to the enterprise. Paul Allen also left college to join Microsoft, dedicating himself fully to the business. Microsoft's early products included versions of BASIC for various microcomputers. These products gained popularity as personal computers began to proliferate. At a time when many companies focused on building hardware, Gates and Allen's vision centered on software as the key to unlocking the potential of personal computing. They believed that software would become the primary driver of value and innovation. This strategy differentiated Microsoft from competitors and allowed the company to grow rapidly as more hardware manufacturers needed compatible software. One of the most significant milestones in Microsoft's early history was its partnership with IBM. In 1980, IBM, preparing to enter the personal computer market, sought an operating system for its upcoming IBM PC. IBM initially approached Digital Research, but negotiations failed. Microsoft seized the opportunity and offered to provide an operating system. Since Microsoft did not have an operating system ready, they purchased a simple OS called QDOS, Quick and Dirty Operating System, from Seattle Computer Products. Microsoft adapted and enhanced QDOS, renaming it MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. Microsoft licensed MS-DOS to IBM, retaining the rights to sell it to other manufacturers. This deal was groundbreaking because it positioned Microsoft as the software provider for one of the largest computer makers in the world. MS-DOS became the dominant operating system for personal computers during the 1980s. Its success established Microsoft's reputation and financial stability. Unlike many deals of the time, Microsoft's retention of licensing rights allowed the company to sell MS-DOS to other PC manufacturers, creating a vast market and significant revenue streams. This licensing strategy was innovative and instrumental in Microsoft's rapid growth. As Microsoft grew, Bill Gates established a company culture focused on innovation, hard work, and excellence. He was known for his intense work ethic, technical expertise, and competitive nature. Microsoft attracted talented programmers and engineers who were passionate about pushing the boundaries of technology. Bill's leadership style was demanding, sometimes intense, but it created a high-performance environment that fostered rapid development and innovation. The early success of Microsoft also came with challenges. The company faced competition from other software firms and hardware manufacturers trying to develop their own operating systems. Bill Gates's aggressive business tactics sometimes attracted criticism. Microsoft was accused of monopolistic practices and harsh competition. However, these strategies helped Microsoft secure its dominant position in the market. Throughout these early years, Bill Gates remained focused on a vision: making personal computers accessible and useful to everyone. He saw software as the key to transforming how people worked, communicated, and accessed information. This vision drove Microsoft's efforts to develop new software products, expand its reach, and innovate continually. Following the early successes with MS-DOS, Bill Gates and Microsoft embarked on a journey that would revolutionize personal computing even further. The development and launch of Microsoft Windows marked a significant turning point, not only for the company, but for the entire technology industry. This chapter explores how Windows came to be, its impact on computing, and how Microsoft rose to become an industry leader under Bill Gates's visionary leadership. MS-DOS, launched in the early 1980s, was a command-line operating system. Users had to type text commands to operate the computer, which was not intuitive for most people. As personal computers became more common in homes and offices, the demand for a user-friendly interface grew. Bill Gates recognized this early on. He understood that for computers to reach a broader audience, the interface needed to be more accessible. Graphical user interfaces, GUIs, which allowed users to interact with visual icons and menus rather than text commands, were emerging technologies popularized by systems like Apple's Macintosh. Microsoft's challenge was to develop a GUI that would work on a variety of personal computers and be affordable for the mass market. In 1985, Microsoft launched Windows 1.0, its first attempt at a graphical operating system. Windows 1.0 provided a basic GUI on top of MS-DOS, allowing users to perform tasks with a mouse and Windows rather than solely with a keyboard. While Windows 1.0 was groundbreaking, it had limitations. It was slow, had limited software compatibility, and initially failed to gain widespread popularity. Nevertheless, it laid the foundation for future versions. Bill Gates and his team learned from these early challenges and continued to refine the system, focusing on improving usability and software support. The real breakthrough for Microsoft came with Windows 3.0, released in 1990, and its improved version, Windows 3.1, in 1992. These versions introduced significant technical advancements. Enhanced graphics and multitasking capabilities, improved performance and stability, a more polished user interface, expanded support for third-party software. Windows 3.x quickly became popular in both business and home markets. It transformed the way people interacted with computers, making them more accessible to non-experts. This success also helped Microsoft gain a competitive edge over rivals like IBM's OS/2 and Apple's Macintosh systems. Alongside Windows, Microsoft developed an ecosystem of software products that enhanced the value of its operating system. The Microsoft Office suite, featuring Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other productivity tools, became essential for businesses and individuals. Bill Gates's vision was clear. Microsoft would not just provide an operating system, but also the software applications that people and organizations used daily. This approach created a powerful synergy that increased user dependence on Microsoft's products. The success of Microsoft Office further solidified Microsoft's dominant position in the technology industry. By the early 1990s, Microsoft had become the dominant player in personal computing software. Bill Gates's aggressive business strategies, including licensing agreements, partnerships, and competitive pricing, helped the company maintain its lead. Microsoft licensed Windows to numerous hardware manufacturers, ensuring its widespread availability on a variety of devices. This open licensing contrasted with Apple's closed system and helped Microsoft capture a massive market share. Bill Gates also fostered a culture of innovation and technical excellence within Microsoft. The company invested heavily in research and development, continually improving Windows and related products. Microsoft's rapid rise did not go unnoticed by regulators and competitors. As the company's dominance grew, concerns about monopolistic practices increased. In 1998, the U.S. Department of Justice and several states filed an antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft, accusing the company of using its market power unfairly to stifle competition, especially concerning its bundling of Internet Explorer with Windows. The legal battle lasted several years, resulting in settlements and changes to Microsoft's business practices. Despite this, Bill Gates and Microsoft continued to innovate and lead the industry. During this period, Bill Gates also guided Microsoft's expansion into new areas: server software and enterprise solutions, internet technologies, gaming with Xbox development, mobile and handheld devices. This diversification helped Microsoft remain relevant in an evolving technology landscape and positioned it for future growth. Bill Gates's leadership was characterized by his technical expertise, competitive drive, and strategic vision. He was known for his hands-on approach, often deeply involved in product development and decision-making. Under his leadership, Microsoft cultivated a culture of high standards, rapid innovation, and adaptability. This culture attracted talented engineers and developers who contributed to the company's continued success. The rise of Windows transformed how people used computers worldwide. It democratized technology, making computers accessible not only to experts and businesses, but also to students, families, and small businesses. Bill Gates's vision and Microsoft's products changed communication, work, education, and entertainment, influencing nearly every aspect of modern life. After decades of transforming the technology world through Microsoft, Bill Gates shifted his focus toward philanthropy and global humanitarian efforts. This chapter explores how Gates leveraged his wealth, influence, and vision to tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges. It also reflects on his lasting legacy as both a tech pioneer and a global philanthropist. In the early 2000s, Bill Gates began stepping back from his daily role at Microsoft. He officially resigned as CEO in 2000, handing the reins to Steve Ballmer, and gradually transitioned to focus on his philanthropic interests. In 2006, Gates left his full-time role at Microsoft to dedicate himself more fully to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which he had co-founded with his then-wife, Melinda French Gates, in 2000. This marked a new chapter in his life, driven by a desire to make a positive impact on global health, education, and poverty. The Gates Foundation quickly became one of the largest and most influential private philanthropic organizations in the world. With tens of billions of dollars in endowment, the foundation focuses on solving critical global problems such as infectious diseases, HIV/AIDS, malaria, tuberculosis, global vaccination programs, improving education in the United States and worldwide, access to clean water and sanitation, agricultural development to combat hunger. The Foundation's approach combines funding research, supporting grassroots initiatives, and partnering with governments and other organizations to maximize impact. One of the most significant contributions of Bill Gates's philanthropy has been in global health. The foundation has funded vaccine research and distribution programs that have saved millions of lives. Efforts to eradicate polio and reduce malaria have made remarkable progress, due in part to Gates's investments and advocacy. The foundation also played a crucial role in expanding access to HIV/AIDS treatments in developing countries. Gates's belief in science, innovation, and data-driven solutions has shaped how the foundation approaches health challenges. Closer to home, Gates has championed education reform and access to technology as key tools for social mobility. The foundation supports initiatives to improve public education, increase high school graduation rates, and expand college access. It has also invested in digital learning platforms and tools to bridge the technology gap. Bill Gates has often emphasized the importance of education as a foundation for individual and societal success, reflecting the values he grew up with. In recent years, Gates has focused on climate change and clean energy innovation. He has invested in research for sustainable energy solutions and launched initiatives to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. His book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster, published in 2021, outlines strategies for achieving net zero emissions and emphasizes the role of technology and innovation in addressing climate challenges. Bill Gates's legacy as a technology pioneer is undeniable. He transformed personal computing from a niche hobby into a global industry that touches nearly every aspect of life. Microsoft's software products, from MS-DOS to Windows and Office, set standards for usability, compatibility, and productivity that shaped the modern digital era. Gates's vision and leadership helped create an ecosystem that empowered individuals, businesses, and governments worldwide. Beyond technology, Gates's philanthropic legacy continues to grow. His commitment to using wealth for the greater good has inspired other billionaires to engage in philanthropy. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's work has set new standards for impact-driven giving, focusing on measurable results and strategic partnerships. Gates's philanthropy reflects a deep sense of responsibility to improve lives and solve global problems, embodying a modern model of socially conscious leadership. Despite his achievements, Bill Gates has faced criticism and controversies, both in business and philanthropy. Microsoft's aggressive business tactics led to legal challenges and antitrust rulings. Some critics argue that the company's dominance stifled competition. In philanthropy, some have questioned the influence of private foundations on public policy and the transparency of large-scale giving. Gates has also been the subject of misinformation campaigns and conspiracy theories, particularly related to vaccines and global health efforts. However, Gates continues to address these challenges with openness, engagement, and a focus on evidence-based solutions. Bill Gates's personal life, including his marriage to Melinda French Gates and their subsequent divorce, has been part of public discussion. Despite personal challenges, Gates remains committed to his philanthropic mission. His public image has evolved from a tech mogul to a global humanitarian and thought leader. He is frequently invited to speak on topics ranging from technology innovation to global health and climate change. Bill Gates's impact will likely continue for decades. Through ongoing foundation work, investments in innovation, and public advocacy, he remains an influential voice on global issues. His dedication to solving complex problems with technology and collaboration serves as a model for future generations of leaders. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the life of Bill Gates, a true pioneer who not only revolutionized technology, but also transformed philanthropy on a global scale. If you found this video inspiring and informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love stories about innovation and success. Don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Talk and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. We'd love to hear from you. What part of Bill Gates's journey surprised you the most? Or do you have any questions about his story? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We always enjoy reading and replying to you. Stay tuned for more incredible stories about the people who changed our world. Until next time, keep dreaming big, work hard, and remember, every great success starts with a single idea. See you soon.